Hey everybody, it is Nikki here with Delicate Tension Tarot. For those of you who have been following and you're just coming back to view another video, thanks. It's awesome. I'm very, very grateful to everybody who has liked, shared, subscribed, even like commented and interacted. I really enjoy like talking to people. So yeah, just thank you so much for that. I've tried to do, I think, who is it, Taurus and Gemini 4 times now. 4 times now. And I keep getting hit with like the camera shutting off or weird stuff happening, so I'm just gonna wait to do them. I wanted to do everybody in sequential order, so now I'm just gonna randomly pull the card and see what zodiac sign that kind of like references to. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to have a really quick, I guess technically it would be a PSA for my channel. I'm gonna be making a video to talk about that in depth and kind of have it posted in the front line so people who come to the channel can watch it. Please keep in mind that these are general readings. It's not, if it's not your story, it's not your story. If it doesn't fit, if it doesn't make any sense, if it has nothing to do with what's going on or the question you're asking, then I'm just not for you. And that's totally fine. There's literally thousands of YouTube readers on here who are amazing. A lot of them, you know, resonate way better with people. I don't know if it's like the way that I do it. Who knows? Maybe I just suck as a reader to some people, which I really don't care because I love reading. But at the same time, it's just this thing of discernment. It's why these are collective energy readings. Some of the things are going to be hits, some of the things are going to be misses. It's very rare that I have somebody come to me and say that everything that I said really resonated with them. And when that happens, I'm super grateful because obviously they're the ones that need the message, right? Also, just, I almost feel like it's a thing for all readers. If you don't know for certain 100% that something is going on, don't take something that a reader says and apply it to your story to fill a hole or a gap in information. That's what personal readings are for. Also, even in personal readings, if you're not 100% certain, use discernment. It's super easy, very non-complicated, right? I just, you know, as with most human beings, it's not even, I don't even know how to put this. I'm just here to help everybody. I'm here to help you. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm gonna try to start doing like split readings in terms of separating love and career, maybe even love, career, and spirituality, to separate those three. And it's not that I don't want to do love, it's just with the way that I read and the way that I want to help you. Sure, I want to help make your relationships better. I want to help you get out of that shitty relationship. I want to help you find the relationship that you deserve. But at the same time, it's like, I'm here to help you figure out where it is that you're going, what you're doing, and how you can do that in the best way possible. I'm not here to tell you if he's Mr. Right. That should be up to you, right? Like, is he Mr. Right? If you're already questioning it, you might want to look at that a little deeper. But, you know, don't give away your free will to a practitioner. Just don't. I'll even say that about anything in life. Doctors, anybody. Don't just give away your free will to a practitioner. If I had a doctor tell me that swallowing bleach would cure me of something, I wouldn't fucking do it, because that's common sense, right? Like, you just don't swallow bleach. But at the same time, it's just, yeah, I feel like now I've officially hit the rant point. All I'm trying to say is if this doesn't resonate with you, just move on. Just move on. It's no big deal. I'm not here to fight with anybody. I'm not here to get into an argument. I'm not here, honestly, I'm not even here to defend myself. I shouldn't have to. So yeah, that's all I need to say. If things resonate with you, that's great. If they don't and you're still curious, get a personal reading from somebody. You know, as YouTube readers, I know I work really hard, and I know that everybody out there who has thousands, if not, you know, close to 1 million followers, they work their asses off. So just remember that, right? Like, we're working really hard for you. A lot of us don't even make money off of this. We do it for free. Keep that in mind too. We do this for free, for the most part. Unless those of us have like ads and things like that, we do this shit for free. So, that being said, I'm gonna move on from that now. Looks like we're doing Taurus. So maybe this is my good luck charm. We'll do Taurus. Alright, Taurus. Sorry I ranted and like a big portion of your video. I apologize. But let's see what's happening for you May 1st through the 15th. What's happening for Taurus May 1st through the 15th, please? There's a lot of cards. You might have a lot going on. You might be feeling a lot. Okay. Taurus, you've got the Eight of Wands and the King of Cups. It's quite possible that some of you could have news coming in. It could be either from a particular water sign, so Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or you have dominant water in your chart as well. But there's a lot of information or messages coming at you, or communication being directed at you. If it is not coming from this water sign individual, then it is coming towards you. What is the block here? You also could just be in a very emotional position right now. Keep that in mind as well. Your block is the Seven of Wands though, so somebody could be trying to talk to you. They could be trying to communicate with you, and you're just not hearing it, you're just not having it. You just may also be in a space where you are feeling more emotional than usual right now. You're wanting to kind of protect yourself from anything that's coming in. What's happening in the subconscious for Taurus here? We have the High Priestess. I'm going to be honest, you guys. The High Priestess came up in your reading every single time. And it always came up in the position that indicated that there is something that you guys know that other people don't know. There may be reasons why you're not saying anything right now. You may have intuitive feelings on what's coming next. You may have intuitive feelings on the information it is that you're holding in. But there's also this thing here for me personally with you guys when I see this card. I don't know if you guys have been becoming more intuitive lately, or if you've been feeling more, picking up more, sensing more. But I just feel like you guys are off the charts right now with something. I think you guys are trying to honor your feelings more. I think you're trying to honor your intuition more, especially if you were a person who didn't do that prior. Maybe it's why you don't feel the need to speak up or say anything to these people who are coming at you, because it's almost like you're taking a seat back and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to let them dig their own grave. Like, I know what's coming. I know what's ahead. And if they want to continue acting the way that they want to act, they can dig their own grave. I don't mean that literally, right? Unless it applies literally to somebody here, which I don't really want to be that morbid. Let's see what's happened in the recent past. So we have Queen of Pentacles and the Hierophant. In the recent past, you definitely could have felt married to your job, or you could have felt like you were married to work. This could also be a literal representation of you being in a long-term committed partnership with another earth sign, and maybe your focus was there. Maybe there was a lot of focus on the home, family, love, nurturing that space, nurturing that partner. Maybe too, that's where the emotional aspect is coming in as well, is that maybe you feel so bombarded by everything that's going on around you that maybe you feel like there's been distance put between you and your partner. Maybe even these emotions are creating distance between you and whatever it is that you've committed to, even if it's in the workplace. But yeah, there's just feelings here of feelings. Like, there's a lot of feelings here. And I'm saying that if that was not about the communication coming from a water sign, let's see what's happening in the higher self. Excuse me. We have the Emperor and the Ace of Pentacles. I think you know what's coming for you, and I think it's really good, especially if it's in terms of business. And if this isn't business and this is about you taking a relationship to the next level, I think you know that there's solid stuff there as well. But with the Emperor and the Ace of Pentacles, this is something about really stepping up into boss mode. And if you're not in a relationship, that Queen of Pentacles down there with the Hierophant is about how now that you've committed to your work in the ways that you have, you get rewarded for it. You're stepping into Emperor energy. You're stepping into this new potential of becoming a bigger boss, you know, more of a head honcho. But really, it's, you know, I feel like you discovered that. I feel like you found that through discovering your own power and your own responsibility. You took stuff into your hands and you found a new way to honor yourself and to really support yourself and value yourself. Let's see what's happening in the near future here. The Six of Pentacles. So you may be in a position to give to others, which I want you to be careful of. Because I feel like part of that is this Eight of Wands energy and Seven of Wands energy. If there's a lot of people coming at you for help, I would be very careful and very discerning about who you give your help to. Especially if there is someone who, I don't want to say is taking your help for granted, but it's like, if you're doing something for others and then they're taking your money and they're blowing it on shit that isn't a necessity, that's when I would kind of rethink about you giving them money right now. I don't know. I just want you to be careful. I wouldn't be surprised if we had the Seven of Swords show up. Judgment. Yeah, be very discerning about who you're giving your time and energy and money to. Absolutely. What's happening in the emotional sector here? Oh yeah, we have the Lovers. And we have the Ten of Wands. You're definitely in your emotions right now, and if you do have a really strong partnership, you're very focused on that partnership. I think that, you know, you're trying to balance out your commitments. If this is for those of you who are in a committed relationship and also working hard, this is really about you finding the balance between doing both. And I feel like, you know, you've oscillated constantly between being really committed to your partnership and then really committed to work. And then when you got too committed to work, you kind of started getting into that space of having all these feelings and wanting to really recommit to your partnership. So I just feel like there's a lot of love that you're experiencing right now. There's a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings. But I also think too that it's like, you've worked really hard, you've done a lot. I feel like you've done a lot. I feel like you've carried a lot for other people. I feel like there are a lot of things you don't even discuss or talk about, especially with the High Priestess and the subconscious level there. But I feel like in a lot of ways, you have really started becoming more whole within yourself, which I think is allowing you to get in touch with this aspect of you that can be a boss, but also this aspect of you that is starting to feel really deeply and wanting to shower the people around you with love. So you're really balancing out masculine and feminine energies really nicely right now. Maybe it's because we're in your season. What's happening outside of Taurus, please? So we've got the Ten of Swords reversed, the Star, and the Justice in reverse. Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. I feel like there are people external to you who are definitely not realizing that something is done. they could literally be wishing on a star or being very hopeful about the future. Some of them might feel like what has happened to them is not justified, right? They might feel like whatever has happened is very wrong and very against them, but it's not. That's how justice decided to make her ruling. And it's just one of those things where, you know, whatever these people have lost out on, they need to be progressing and moving forward, because there's something that is still calling to them that they haven't even discovered yet. They're not even going to see that this is a thing right now. But there's a lot of hopeful energy for them, and it's almost very like limitless in its potential. So I feel like whatever these individuals have lost, whatever has been removed from their lives, it's about moving forward with this kind of concept of hope and faith, and knowing that there's something that they're actually supposed to reach towards, like a goal. What's happening in the hopes and fears here? We have the King of Wands and Eight of Swords, so I do think that there's a part of you that's afraid of being stuck within a position or a situation, or almost like a constant loop or cycle of something. Maybe it's even the energy that you're having to expend right now with what you're doing. Like, you don't want to constantly get stuck in that energy of exhaustion. Let's see what's happening in the far-reaching outcome here. We have the Knight of Pentacles, so there might be a pause put on something. Five of Pentacles. Four of Swords in reverse. And then we have the Artist. I'm trying to really be discerning with how I'm going to read this, because I feel like for all of these cards that are representing you so far, I don't see you in Knight of Pentacles status at all. So I really do feel like this might be attached to the people in the Six of Pentacles, because the people in the Five of Pentacles are in the Six of Pentacles. To be perfectly honest, whoever this person is who keeps reaching out for your help, it needs to stop. I don't think they're ever going to learn until you put an end to this. Because I literally feel like there's something where it's like it stops. Like, whatever transaction has been happening, whatever you've been giving out to, it needs to stop, because this person needs to fucking learn to create the life it is that they want on their own. And I feel like if they constantly have people helping them, that's never going to happen. Because it's not pushing them to process and think about what ways that they need to change. You know, I feel like this person needs to go through their dark night of the soul. I'm all for helping people, but when it's someone who, this is how I view it. It's great to be kind. You can constantly help somebody, right? But then when that helping a person creates this level of codependency where they don't take responsibility for themselves or their choices or their actions, that's where it gets ugly. Because then that person looks to you to be this individual who can always save them when they get out of a jam, or when they get into a jam, right? You're the person who can step in and they're like, oh, it'll be fine, it'll be cool, I'll be fine because I can just go here. I can just do this. They're always there. They always help me. But when it starts affecting your finances is when it's a whole nother story. So I just want you to be mindful about that. If this isn't about giving anything physical or tangible, it is. I'm not even sure. It is. I was like, I can't even look at it any other way. This isn't about emotions. It's not about anything. that has to do with emotions or thoughts or feelings. It is purely about money. In terms of this specific individual, this is a very specific person. And I feel like too, if this person is tied to another person, what the fuck is that other person doing? What is that other person doing? Because it's like, there should be enough for them to survive. There should be enough for them to help each other. But they're not helping each other. They're staying stuck in this fucked up position of like bringing each other down. I'm sorry, I know this just got really weird. This person needs to understand what it is like to be alone, what it is like to support themselves, how hard it is. They've got to learn. You can't keep bailing this person out. I don't think this person is, I don't think you're involved with them in a relationship. I think this is someone very external to you. I mean, I think you're close with them. I think that there's a bond there. There's a friendship, there's a kinship, it could even be a family member, but I don't think this is somebody you're in a relationship with. So yeah, Taurus, really the theme this month for you, or the 2 weeks of May, I'm like all over the place. This is about really protecting yourself. I think that the emotions that you have right now need to be dedicated to the people in your direct environment who also love and support you. I think you've been working really hard on whatever it is that you're doing right now. It could even just be menial tasks at home. But whatever it is that you're keeping yourself busy. You're not someone who is like just not doing anything. But there's this thing here where I think you need to start trusting your intuition and your gut and knowing how to make the next steps and make the next moves, because I do think you're stepping into this higher level of leadership, and I think you're stepping into this higher level of power, not only within yourself but within your environment, possibly even within your job if you're still working. But there's this thing where I want you to be careful, because I think in the near future, if not right now, there is someone who is around you who either is constantly, they could be messaging you a lot. This could be multiple people messaging you a lot, and you feel like you're having to defend yourself or having to defend your position. But at the same time, it's like some of these messages are about people needing help from you, and that's financial help or financial security. And really, it's like Judgment Day on that. Stop doing that. I know you're in a position to do it, but this person has got to learn, because in the direct outcome, in the far-reaching outcome, in the advice, it is asking you as the Knight of Pentacles to think about where you're putting your money. Think about what you're investing into. Think about who you're giving to. Think about where that's going. Because with the Five of Pentacles, I can guarantee you it's not doing anything for them. They're not using it on what they need to use it on. They're still stuck in the same fucking position. They're actually in a worse position when they come to you. Because they're not taking the time to address the issues that need to change. And there are issues with them in their environment, whether it's the people they're around or it's the shit that they're doing. It's just not good for them, and it's not helping them create the life that it is that they want. And there's a great life ahead for them with the artist. There's a fantastic life. They just need to create it, and they need to work towards it, and they're not doing that when they come to you. So I feel like your home life is going to be a lot better if you're in a relationship. Your work life is going to get better if you're still working and you still have a job. Your financial situation is going to be improving. Just be mindful of who you have on your team and who you're giving to right now. Because it's not your job. It's not your job to take care of these people who are old enough to take care of themselves. Especially if they're still working. But that's up to you, right? Everybody makes their own judgment call, especially if that applies to you in a specific situation. So yeah, I think that's the first, well, maybe second or third time that I haven't done clarifiers, but thank you for joining me, Taurus. I hope this reading was useful. I feel like that's I'm not even gonna lie to you, that is consistently the same issue I've had for every reading I've done for you guys that I've tried to record, is that it starts turning into this really fucked up story of how like you're doing great, you're really happy, you're actually in a better position than you've been in a while. And there's just certain people in your environment that want to continue to like take from you, or they need something from you. And really I feel like it's a specific person. But it's time for them to like stand on their own 2 feet, and they can't do that if you keep helping them. So a little tough love needs to be applied. But yeah, so thank you. That has been your reading for May 1st to the 15th. Sorry for being all over the place. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you did, please like, share, subscribe, or comment down below. Check out my description box for my new website. Also, you can go follow me on Instagram, and check out all the other products that I have listed below as well for the decks that I typically use in a reading. I'll see you guys next time.